Hello, Internet! Boy, do I hope this is working. We got a couple of people in chat. Let me know if you can't hear me right now
Yep.
for whatever reason.
All clear.
Oh, thank goodness. Boy, howdy. As simple and junk as this looks, it took a lot of work to get to get set up. We're back. It's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks? 2 weeks, I think. We played Quiplash for a week, or whatever it was. And then we had a couple of weeks off while I reconfigured all of this. So hello, we've missed you. I've missed you guys. We've got some new and improved things, even as we've sort of taken a technological step back towards doing remote D&D. Well, I guess it's sort of a technological step forward, isn't it? Since we were doing...
I mean, it's what the kids are doing these days.
I don't know. It probably was a lot more technically difficult to set up playing live in the room than.
That's true. I spent a year and so much money getting situated so that we could play D&D live together in a room and not have to do this. And here we are anyway. It worked out okay. Actually, we had, I think you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I think I sent out the text like a week before everything really went crazy, where I was like, hey, should we maybe switch to remote? And then like a couple of days later, it was like nobody can see each other anymore. So we were a little ahead of the curve, but it still took us a couple of weeks to get this set up. So before we launch into tonight's episode, I wanna do a couple of business, couple of little housekeeping business things. I want to, of course, thank our sponsors, the Eighth House and Marble Moon Studio, as well as our lovely, lovely friends over at Little Dragon Corp. And remember, you can type !Little Dragon in the chat at any point during tonight's episode to receive a link to their website, where you can buy all sorts of dice and game paraphernalia. There it is. And remember, for a 10% off, you can add our promo code PROBONUS, all one word, at checkout. I would also like to thank Team MZ, Many-Sided Dice, the Twitch affiliate program, and Streamlabs for making this possible. What the hell is that? Oh, it's your Raven. I was like, did you bring a sock puppet to tonight's episode? So, thank you to all of our sponsors. We have our mid-roll ad is under renovation currently. So you'll see some slides from our sponsors, but you don't get to listen to my sweet D&D related advertising jokes during tonight's episode. But we will see them during the mid-roll of tonight's session. And second bit of housekeeping business is, how is everybody? Being you guys
Alive.
Who have microphones that can respond. Alive, that's good.
Alive.
I'm essential.
Yeah.
Jason's essential.
I'm one of the essential staff at my job too.
I think are all of us still working currently? Russell, you're finally not anymore?
Yeah.
Okay.
They shut everything down.
I am working from home.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, I've been working from home since the 17th.
Yes.
Fun.
We were the 18th.
Well, I am glad everybody is thus far healthy and safe. I hope all of you guys
Demonetized.
you gotta watch it.
It definitely looked like you coughed at Adam on my screen. Like, the lighting's basically the same.
You get thrown in jail for like terrorism if you do that in public.
Yeah, somebody did.
Yeah, there's a guy who owns a pizzeria.
Moral of the story: don't be
in the supermarket.
Be a jackass, and you'll be okay. But yes, I'm glad that you guys are healthy. I hope everybody who is joining us tonight is also healthy, doing the best they can, making the best of this crazy situation that we're all living through. I don't know. You can't tell as the webcam quality on my my computer here is a little lower, but I immediately decided that I was just going to stop trimming my beard altogether So this will get out
Yeah,
of
me
hand
too.
within the next few weeks.
Yeah, this isn't so much as like I'm growing a beard. It's like I haven't had to shave for work in 2 weeks. So it's just
I don't know what day it is anymore.
Oddly enough, I shaved this off, and now I'm letting it grow back in.
So
Yes, now is the time to experiment with facial hair.
chat says people in hazmat suits are gonna like kick down Russell's door in a few minutes. We're gonna see him dragged off camera.
It's been nice knowing you, Russell.
Yes, I'm glad you guys are doing well. I hope everybody at home is doing well. I'm glad that we could get back to this. I was bummed out that it took me a little bit to kind of get things reorganized to get this up and going. I think now more than
Suspense
ever.
has literally been killing me.
What's that?
I have been
Suspense has literally been killing me.
Suspense.
Speaking of suspense, and sorry to interrupt, but do you have like a 100-foot long Cat 5 cable to run up to Becca, because she is like shutterbugging all over
Oh,
the
is she?
place. Like,
What?
like you're going at like 4 frames per minute. So
Oh, she looks okay on my screen. Maybe that's just you.
Yeah.
it's fine now. Nope. Yeah.
See, I can't see you, Carlos, or Matt. I just get cubes that are circling.
Well, fake it, I guess. Looks okay on the stream as far as I can tell.
you see enough of Carlos as it is. So
It's the dial up.
Yeah, I as I was saying, as I said, now more than ever, I want to be doing this, be seeing you guys, even if it's via remote server, be putting something out into the world that people can join us for a little bit of D&D nonsense and take a break from being sheltering in place and just trying to get through all this. So. I have a couple of surprises, but before we get to the surprise, let's give a quick recap, because it's been forever, and we need to figure out exactly where we are. You guys can see, here's my boop. This gives you an indication of what my setup looks like. There is a camera pointed at a piece of computer paper on the desk 1 foot next to me. That's how we will be doing the maps for tonight, because it's easier that way. So we're gonna be a little bit more theater of the mind this evening. It'll be fine. You guys, the Fools Errant, have been investigating what they have come to determine is the ruin of what had been an Invarian Research Station. Rumors of a place deep in Honorand called, by the locals, the Scarred Lands, surrounded by rumors of wrongness and evil spirits and yes. Can I come? No.
He said evil spirits.
I summoned her. Surrounded by rumors of evil spirits and misfortune and death befalling anyone who chose to go there. Yeah. I have a co-pilot for tonight. She might make an appearance at some point. Olive the dog is with me in the room now. Okay. What was I saying? This is a mess.
Abort.
Evil spirits.
Evil
spirits.
You guys investigated, and what you have found is that buried deep beneath the ground, accessible only via a fissure in the ground, was the top of an Invarian Research Station, long abandoned and seemingly cursed somehow with this sort of strangeness and wrongness about the area. As you have delved deeper down, let's get a nice pointer here, starting all the way up at the top, at the surface, making your way down a crevasse to a sort of a cavernous chamber where you found the long dead body of a Ordinum Libri relic hunter who had similarly explored this place and had suffered a fate that led to his demise. You found your way into the research chamber and began experiencing what you have now come to know are a sort of temporal echo. The Invarian Empire found something deep, deep below the earth in this place, built the research station around it. As you have moved through defeating these strange, twisted forms of humanoids that look like someone had mashed together multiple individuals in one in the space where one person would occupy, made out of this pure carbon-like material. You started seeing these echoes and witnessing the history of this research station. You learned that the Invarians found something down here that they described as being like a vessel or a ship. Something that they determined was older even than their empire, which is, to you, already ancient in and of itself. You delved deeper and you found evidence that the Invarian Empire was studying this vessel, trying to determine its origin, trying to determine strange magics that powered it, and how it got to this place, which by all means is nowhere near any body of water at any point in history that they had been able to detect. You discovered that the Invarians used a form of magic that is not extant in this day and age, that they called chronomancy, manipulation of time to backtrack small pieces of like objects. You discovered that whatever happened here took place roughly at the time that the Invarian Empire was falling. After witnessing a discussion between members of the research staff here talking about the High Empyrean of the Invarian Empire being killed and the capital city being razed by the Black Dragon Silarax. Hearing their discussions about what would happen to the Empire in the future, how it would recover, and what that would look like. Unbeknownst to them, but obviously known to you, that those were the events that would spell the final doom, the eventual fall of the Invarian Empire. You made your way deeper, 3 levels down, to a large cavernous space with a crack in the ground leading to another chamber below, and a large opening off to one side. Some debris, rubble here, along with some creatures you fought, revealed or at least somewhat of the final fate of what caused the Scarred Lands to become the way it is. You witnessed an earthquake far in the past take place, followed by an explosion that you believe to have been triggered by the failure of whatever magical item the Invarians were using to perform their chronomancy, causing a detonation that absolutely ravaged the entire station and the surrounding area and transformed the Invarians essentially into the monsters that you have been fighting, these horrible amalgamations of essentially individuals who have been ripped apart across their own timeline and smashed back together. You witnessed a few of the Invarian security guards over the corpse of a canine-like creature, speaking about how others had come up from deeper within the ground and were drawn, they thought, to the energy signature of the chronomancy device, discussing plans to go down and get the rest of them. And all the while, you've had multiple encounters with a beast, double the size of an owlbear, massive hulking upper body, a skull-like canine head, but ravaged, limp, useless hind legs. You have apparently defeated it twice now, and yet it keeps returning. And where we leave you now is having just experienced that last echo, that earthquake that triggered the explosion. You are on this level, and have yet, you have already determined, have yet one more level to go. And I believe we left off as Fidget had cast a... I'm blanking here. Your far-seeing eyeball spell.
Yep, we cast Arcane Eye.
Arcane Eye, that's it. Down into this crevasse here, and had just set his eyes upon a larger, deeper chasm with some old, ancient, crumbling catwalks and the back end of a massive, metallic-looking vessel. That is where we rejoin, and our surprise here, this is a new thing that we're doing. We're going to, as we wrap up our recap here, we're going to launch into a little bit of intro video that we have for our show. So please enjoy this, and then we will launch into it. So here it goes. We will be right back for tonight's episode of Tabletop Legends. And we're back. That's our intro video. That did not look like anything to any of the people here, as we're just in a Discord call, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's our new intro video. We'll be doing that every week for the end until the rest of time. Jason, in true fashion, took that opportunity to get up and walk away from his computer, much as he does during our live recording, where every time the second we go live, he gets up.
Kitty!
Oh, I straight up thought you had put a green screen up behind you, and it's kind of small on my screen. I thought you had put a farm scene up behind you, and that was like a cow in the distance.
No, that's just my room. I'm sorry.
Twitch says all the budget went into the intro. It did. All of the budget went into the intro, and now you're left with this. So, I turn it over to you guys now. You know where you are. You know what you've seen thus far. Hopefully your character sheets are still on track from where they were last time. And
still grievously injured. Yep.
Take it away.
Still.
So we are.
Fidget, what do you see?
I spy with my special eyes a massive metallic ship. I think we said it was 80 feet down.
A ship? Like a boat ship?
Bigger.
Bigger than a boat.
Bigger.
All right. Well, anything else besides that? Any more of those creatures?
I mean, I can spend more time looking around. I thought you guys were going to try to find a way down.
Probably the easiest way down is via the rope.
Could we climb down?
So Fidget, it's a little hard to tell on the map here. So like this is not directly above this. It's offset this way. So the hole that you guys are standing above is like here. The back of that vessel is like over here. But what you can see is that presumably from here on your level, where you guys had seen there was another trap door, you can see there is like, as you zoom down into this part and are kind of flying around in this area, you can see there is the chamber where that drop from this level comes down, opens up, and there's like a set of catwalks that have been like set into the side of this interior chamber. There's a lot of broken pieces to it that you know seems like it was more extensive at some point, but you can see there is one intact portion of this still that actually gives you access directly to, looks like has been constructed directly to the deck of the ship, so you can get around this way on foot.
You want to run? Or you want to sneak? Because we're pretty sure that thing keeps coming back, and we don't know.
Yeah, we don't want to wait too long. I'll go ahead first, but I'm not gonna be as slow and cautious. So, going to head toward the trap door.
Alrighty. So you guys do end up having to takes a little bit. You end up having to, because you got to climb back up. Because remember, this is above, so you're not on the floor. So you're able to climb back up here and head over to the trap. The trap door there. It is sealed as the others were.
All right. Guess I'm making a strength check. Actually, Nula.
Yeah. I can be strong.
If you'd be so kind.
13?
With a 13, you manage to get it open, but it gets like jammed before you get it all the way. So like Fidget and Walter and probably Alar will be able to kind of shimmy their way through. It's going to be a real like squeeze to try and get for you and Brahm to get through. You and your kind of heavy armor, and Brahm with his like large half-orc frame are going to have trouble getting through this trapdoor as it sort of like it just jams on something inside the like slot that moves into, and you can't get it all the way.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Can I send my arcane eye into the room ahead of us?
Yeah. You sort of like you pull it back. Oh, I'm like pointing at my screen instead of the map. You pull it back up out of the deeper crevasse there. You come back up here and sort of send it down. You find yourself in it's about a 10 by 10 chamber. There is that same pad down on the lower floor with one of those little like pedestals that you guys assume thus far to be like the operational controls for some sort of a like thing that would bring you up and down, though it is deactivated as the others are. This space has no there's no door. It's just like a open door frame, and you can see the catwalk comes out of this space and runs along the like the cave wall, the rock wall on this side, just right out into this open chamber that you had already like sort of flown around observing. There are, the area is dimly illuminated by a number of those like sort of crystalline lattice work illumination that have been like somehow it seems to detect you guys as you come down to each level and illuminating. It seems that these two levels maybe are linked, as like when the ones came on this level, these are already active, so there's some lights lining the walkway here, broken in places, but enough that it sort of casts this area in enough light to see by.
Looks safe so far. Let's go.
All right.
I'm gonna call for it.
I'm gonna shimmy
All right.
my way in.
Alrighty.
Uh,
How much you guys have rope left? This is another drop.
Oh. See.
I think I have rope.
Well, we've used rope in 2 places so far.
I also have rope.
Okay.
Fidget does not have rope.
I believe
have
I've
rope.
used my rope
Yes,
already.
he does. Fidget definitely has rope in that coat somewhere.
2 lengths of rope.
Fidget is rope.
2 lengths of rope were used to get
Into the facility.
down here. You have another length of rope secured here, and I believe you have.
I think we're
One there.
secured at the second lower entrance, not the first.
Oh yeah, the
Because I
first-
fell.
you jumped.
Yeah.
Everybody hurt themselves on the first one. Okay, so you've used 3 pieces of rope. So if more than 3 people have a length of rope, you have 1 left.
I think we specifically left mine just in case we would need it at one other point.
Okay. Then
Chat, the guy who knows things is Fidget. I'm gonna probably put some like portraits and names. Oh, we should have done that. I realized. So on stream here, from top to bottom, I'm Matt. I'm the DM. Directly below me is Jason. He is Walter the Warlock. Below him is Russell. He is playing Brahm the Bard. On the other side, on the top here, we have Adam. He is Alar. He is a rogue. In the middle there, that is Carlos. He is Fidget. He who knows things. And then at the bottom on that far side is Becca playing Nula.
You do realize we just had a flashy new intro that essentially.
Somebody asked in chat, so I clarified it.
Okay.
They're designing Nula t-shirts in chat right now.
So we've used
Wait, I'm
3.
getting t-shirts?
Yeah, they're designing t-shirts inspired by Nula.
we get Nula merch.
So we've used 3 ropes. How many people had ropes to start with?
4.
Okay.
So we got 1 left. Look around. I look around. How far? Is there a spot I can tie this off? Either one of the handrails or
The thing is jammed open, right? The door.
partially, but I don't
could
want
we
to.
reasonably like loop it around the door? Like
I don't want to pull it shut trying to climb out.
around the hinge.
These trap doors open like this.
Oh,
Open,
gotcha.
but it's been like pried so that it's open this way, not this way.
I mean, I could spend 20 minutes to run back and get the magical python. But
I've got a regular piton. This is just standard wall. It's not the.
You have, because it's a 20-foot drop and you've got a 50-foot rope, you probably do have enough length that you can go like kind of like out around this way a little bit and jam it into the cave wall, and then run it like down this way and down to the level below.
Okay, that's what I do, and then once it's secured, I
Make a strength check.
Strength. 13.
13. Okay. Alrighty, so you secure your rope. And you can have a way down.
All right. I'll shimmy down first.
Alrighty, make a athletics check.
Yeah. Okay. 15.
Alrighty, you are good.
Get out of the way of the others and start advancing toward the along the catwalk.
Okay. Yeah, so you're moving. Adjust that a little. You entered here, and you're now moving this way. So this is all open. It is. It looks like there maybe was like some guardrail type stuff in the past, but now it's basically just like a smooth, like 4-foot wide platform attached to the cave wall. So it's a little bit vertigo-inducing as you like look down to this bottomless black chasm off to the side of you.
Definitely not looking down then. And then a brief glance and go, ooh, yeah, not, and don't want to fall that way. Anybody coming with me?
Yep. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Oh. I am dropping down as well. I'll follow Alar directly.
All right. Make a strength or an athletics check.
Can I just choose to fall instead?
If you want.
God damn it. Of course it rolled on its freaking side. Yeah. Stop rolling on the goddamn side. Alright. Well, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna take that 5. It keeps, like, the dice just keep, so that's a 4.
Okay. So you do, like, as you're kind of making your way down,
Yeah,
you lose your grip part of the way down, and you sort of like badly rope burn your hand, and it causes you to lose your grip, and you tumble down the rest of the shaft, taking 8 points of bludgeoning damage when you hit the ground.
Oh, right. I am,
So you guys basically hear like thud, 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 crash as Walter unceremoniously reaches the sub-level.
Well, we're not surprising anyone anymore. I think you should go next, Nuala.
Thank you. And I jump down.
I'm scrambling out of the way.
Or are you jumping?
No. I'm going on the roof.
Oh, I was like, okay, I'll roll your damage.
No. I'm going on the roof.
Make an athletics check.
Lands directly on Walter's spine.
Nuala smashes her shins through her own chest cavity.
20, not natural.
Okay, you are easily able to climb down. You step over Walter as you reach the bottom.
Should just Misty step down. Waste my last spell slot.
Quit laying around, Walter. Get up. And I will help Walter up.
Okay.
I guess I'll attempt to stuff myself into this door.
All right. Make a dexterity check.
Oh boy.
I do appreciate that everyone trusts Fidget enough to have him bring up the rear.
13.
Okay. You like squeeze yourself in there and you make it into the shaft. Go ahead and make your athletics check to climb down.
So glad I can't even make a DC 10 strength check.
15.
Okay, you safely make it down. So you are all now on this sub-level. Alar, you've probably made it about to like here. This is just an open platform. You see where there was some more kind of catwalking had been attached at one point, but is broken away. This leads. This is like level. It leads across this way to another piece of like natural stone formation, and then there's a catwalk attached here that leads to like. It leads over to the ship. It doesn't look like it's designed to have been like a ramp down to that. It looks like it at one point had been more upright like this, and has since like collapsed, but is resting on between this ledge and the ship below.
Okay. Quick glance around in that square room there. Anything of note?
No, it's not a room. It's just an open like
Platform?
Yeah.
Okay. But nothing of note.
Nope. Empty.
Okay, then I'm gonna press on.
Okay. So Alar begins to move forward across the next catwalk over to this final platform here. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm going to keep my sensor near him.
Okay.
A thought occurs to me. Hey, everybody, take that potion just in case we hit one more of those rewinds, whatever they are.
Sure.
Are we all taking a potion?
Yes.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna drink my mystery potion. Wait, no.
Russell's got props. Here, I'll drink a potion too.
Mine was at least also like potion-y colored too.
So what should we be rolling?
Nothing.
You don't have to.
It's a potion to comprehend languages. So if
Roll
we,
glug glug.
Okay.
I guess you can roll to see if it goes down the wrong pipe if you really want to.
Does comprehend languages allow you to read, or just hear and understand?
I'm not sure.
I believe it allows you to read.
I believe read. I believe read. So, you guys all drink these potions down. They're a little stale. They are at least 80 years old, you've determined, based on the date in the dwarf's journal that you found. But based on Alar already having had one, they work.
Yeah.
So now you guys have comprehend languages in effect on you. Alrighty. So Alar, as you press forward, you see the ship itself. It's only the back half that you can see here. You see what looks like the forgive my lack of nautical terminology here. The like where
the booty,
where the wheel would be.
Stern Castle.
The stern, where you see kind of you're like this piece of scaffolding has thunked itself onto the like the boards of the stern castle. The ship itself is at like a 45-degree angle, and it's basically jammed into another this is another break in the cavern wall that looks like it goes deeper to like a further down continuation of this fissure. It basically looks like a giant took this vessel and just like jammed it into this opening. You can see from the outside in the illumination given off by the lighting up here, you can see these deep like rends in the what you'd almost call like armor plating. So the vessel, what's unique about this, the bottom, it has what you clearly recognize as something that looks like a stern castle. However, where a set of steps descend and you see like the main deck here, you don't see any evidence of like sails. what you do see is that the entire like main deck is enclosed. There's this like dome-shaped metal piece of like armor almost over the top of this, and that's what's been like as it went into this rock formation. It seems like the rocks like cut into these, and the vessel is at an angle like this basically. So imagine like going up on your roof. You can get onto the ship and you'll be able to walk, but it's very you're up on it, kind of like, oh boy, okay, as it's descending down.
An iron ship buried deep underground, older than the Invarian Empire.
Dibs.
I will shank you. All right, I'm going to carefully make my way down the busted catwalk.
Alrighty, make an athletics or an acrobatics check as you.
That was the name of a band I used to be in. Busted Catwalk.
11.
Okay. You successfully make your way across that piece of scaffolding onto the ship. As you do, it teeters on the not quite level surface that it's sitting on. You have a few tense moments where you like start to lose your balance a little bit, kind of stutter step the last few steps, make it safely onto the vessel, and are sort of able to grab one hand on the railing here to steady yourself as you kind of hang at an angle on the vessel.
Watch your step, kids. This is not stable at all.
Are you sure it's going to support, bigger individuals like myself?
Fidget should be fine.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I got across safely, but
It's about a 10-foot gap between the platform and the ship.
I'll go next. It's probably fine.
Alrighty. Same thing. You can make either an athletics or an acrobatics.
If things go terrible, I have a plan.
I'm feeling inspired, so I'm going to use my inspiration to get across this chasm
Okay.
and just give myself advantage.
Oh, I thought he was like trying to pity
No,
get
he's got an inspiration dice.
All right, I'm going to do a dex check instead of was it athletics? You said?
Athletics or acrobatics?
Yeah, it's acrobatics.
Okay.
8 was the higher of the two.
Make a
Well,
dexterity
roll
saving
them
throw.
Dex save. Are you fucking kidding me?
can I make a save to grab him before he goes over the side?
What'd you roll, Jason?
Worse. Nat 1 plus 2. So 3. I do not.
Walter makes it.
He was burst in the flames.
Walter makes it 3/4 of the way across, so he's got just a few feet to go, and the catwalk gives a wobble to one side. Walter overcorrects and
Literally leaps into the void.
I am giving you the benefit of the doubt that you leap towards safety at the very least.
Yes.
Yes, Alar, you may make a dexterity check to attempt to assist him here.
It's the dancing encounter all over again.
17. Walter, you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as the catwalk lurches and you lose your balance and stumble. Try to correct, feel that you are going to lose your footing, and see the void beneath you. You, in a active desperation, launch yourself forward, desperately reaching for the safety of the ship, even as it's at a precarious angle. You do make the distance. It's not that far, but not all of you makes it. Your midriff hits the side of the vessel. Your breath goes out of you in a one great sort of like whoosh, and you begin to slide sort of this way and almost over the edge before Alar is able to like launch forward, grab hold of you, and secure you enough to pull you back over. You did take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, I think I told you.
Yes.
And
I've seen building this shoddy since Voland.
Just shut up and pull.
I'm coming. Trying to like army crawl my way up.
Remember the last time, 5 minutes ago, when he fell down a hole and he said he should have Mitchy stabbed?
Look,
I do remember that.
I could use a nap right now, but I'm trying to push through for all of us.
All right, you go up that way. I'm gonna stick here just in case somebody else has trouble.
I'm gonna just kind of look around the where the wheel should be.
Sure.
I'm not gonna like touch anything. I'm just gonna be like checking around there while everybody's trying to like jump on.
So how does the catwalk look even less stable now after?
not necessarily, it's just wobbly. It doesn't necessarily look like it's in danger of like breaking. Your bigger concern is like kind of, it's sort of like not quite as crazy as like a Jacob's ladder, but it's sort of doing this as you walk across it. Your bigger concern is more like if you really badly whiff it and like knock it out of position, it would like and then fall down as opposed to like snap.
All right, can I go next?
Yeah.
Can I get on my hands and knees and kind of like wiggle my way down?
You are a paladin
You
of
certainly
the
can.
Order of the Radiant Dawn.
And she is using her brain.
Make a
Have some dignity.
Wiggle check.
make an athletics check, I guess.
22.
In the climbing equivalent of putting up the bumpers in bowling and walking up to the center of the lane and doing this, Nula successfully scuttles her way across and is now on the deck of the vessel.
Walter has the most incredulous look you could possibly fathom.
And I made it in one piece. Safe
I'm
and
glad-
sound.
Good job, Nula. Here, watch Scooter for me. And Scooter appears on your shoulder.
Oh, hi, Scooter.
In case anybody's wondering, this is Scooter.
There he is.
All right, Brom, who's next?
The other, our live action Scooter is over there napping.
Aww.
Aww.
You can go next, Fidget, in case my big ass breaks this thing.
Man, I was hoping I would get to go last. All right.
I mean, I could just throw you. It's like 10 feet, right?
I mean, I was kind of thinking maybe we let them go and just wait it out here.
You know I can hear you two.
I had the urge just to throw him at that point anyway.
All right, I'm going. Fine.
Alrighty.
As the smallest member of the party, I like that he's the most concerned.
You could do the wiggle method.
That is a 15 for acrobatics.
Alrighty. So with style, Fidget manages to get across safely. Being so small, he does not. He doesn't seem to be disturbing the equilibrium of this piece of scaffolding as much as some of the others did, and he pretty easily makes it over.
Some of the others.
Hey, I made it over safely.
I am happy for.
I'm deciding if I want to burn a 4th level slot or just risk it.
For a 10-foot gap, I love it.
Save that in case we have to get out rapidly.
I fell down and broke myself on the first one.
It's
Wiggle.
like just
Wiggle.
jump. Just you can do it. I believe in you.
And I'm not gonna wiggle.
No, you gotta wiggle
I
now.
have my dignity, madam.
Is it acrobatics?
Acrobatics
check?
or athletics?
I'm gonna go with acrobatics, I think.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. $19.
Okay, easily done. You balance beam yourself right across that bad boy, and you are on the ship. So, you are now all standing semi-safely on the vessel. As I said, it is at about, maybe a 45-degree angle. So standing up here is not a comfortable matter. It is it is if you as if you were to imagine standing on your roof. You basically kind of are on, your inclination is almost to put your feet in front of you and your hands behind you and sort of scoot your butt to move yourself down.
I will do that anyway.
What you can see.
How long did you put it in for?
Walt. He's distracted. We'll come back to him in a second. So what you can see from here. Walter, make an investigation as you were searching around the Eastern Castle War. So what you can see from here is your new vantage point as you're up here.
So 15.
Okay. There is not a full wheel like you would expect on a ship here, so much as this sort of trapezoid, right? Is that trapezoid? Yeah. I know my geometry, sort of. Sort of like a trapezoidal protrusion up from the deck of the ship. It is roughly 3.5 feet in height, so it is just a good source of kind of holding on or bracing yourself behind. It appears to be almost as if it's emerged out of the deck of the ship rather than anything that has been bolted on or is coming up from beneath. The plates of this whatever this metal is that this ship is primarily comprised out of just seem to form this structure. There is an opening in it that you could put your arm through. It is about the size of a coconut. It's about this big. Probably can't quite couldn't get your head through, but you could easily put your your two fists into it, like that. You don't see any particular markings that mean anything to you. It just is this form that is coming out of the back of this ship.
I'm just gonna lean against it, put my hands on.
Yeah, that's easy enough. It is. It's cool to the touch, as you would expect for the ambient temperature and it being metal. What you guys can see is, as you look, sort of down-ish from your perspective. There's these two sets of steps, on either side. A little bit of deck here, and then under this overhang there is a wall. And at that wall there is a door. It looks similar to the Invarian doors as you've been going through this, through this structure, in that it is like flush to the to the wall that it's set into, but it is, whereas the Invarian doors you've seen like a central, split where they would slide open. This is more. It almost looks like it would, like, iris open. It's got these sort of concentric circular pieces all leading to like a central point, whereas and the door frame itself is like vaguely hexagonal. You get the impression that it would like that.
I'm gonna stick my shovel handle through the hole.
Okay.
See if it does anything.
No, nothing happens.
Well, I tried.
We could put our hands through it and try to steer it.
Okay, I'll do it.
I'm not. Okay.
Didn't we pick up a gem at like the front door?
Yep, I will pull that out of my pocket. And does it fit flush?
No.
Okay.
It does go in there because it's it's not quite as big as this opening is, so you can like put it in, but it doesn't seem to do anything.
Wait, now this was part of the Invarian lifting thing. This would have nothing to do with that. Put the gem back.
I'm gonna touch it.
No.
I mean, like, if Fidget, I've already touched the trapezoid part. It's probably fine if Fidget touches it.
All right.
I'll stick my hand in it.
I'll start whittling sticks into new arms.
Is this ship is entirely made of metal?
The
Yes?
parts that you can see, it appears like mostly. You can't get a great look at like sort of the sides of it. It is definitely like armor plated, it seems.
Okay.
There is perhaps what might be some other material besides metal, as you kind of like are looking over this, like over the sides of it a little bit, but it definitely does not look like there is any wood as part of the composition of this ship. You're thinking maybe like it almost looks like it has like an opal or a sort of a marbly, maybe some kind of a stone texture to some of it. Like a
Taylor, you want to
polished-
check out that iris while Fidget's fidgeting?
Yeah, I'm gonna head down there. I'm gonna see if I can find a separate piece of this metal to take back as well.
Okay.
So I'm gonna carefully make my way down those stairs toward the.
How many phase
Where's the
plant
door?
points of damage do I need to take right now to just get to the door?
Now that you're kind of on the ship, you're as long as you're not rushing yourself, you don't have to make any types of check to like
Cool.
move around up here.
I'm kind of tired of throwing my face at things.
The armor plating on the top. Are there any points where it looks like there's, or on the decking nearby? Are there any bits of what look like that hull that I could pick up?
Not out here, no.
Okay.
From the outside, from above, did it look like it was like fractured in where the rents were, or was it just like mostly scratches that we could tell?
It looks like it was rent like lengthwise, probably by the cave and the rock that cut it as it like fell down here or something. I mean, you can definitely intuit from what you're seeing here, at least the way the Invarian's scaffolding was, that like where the ship is now is not where it was even like when they started with it. It
Gotcha.
looks like it has continued to like from wherever it started and from however it got here. It looks like it is potentially like shifted a few times over the centuries and millennia that it has been down here.
Well, I would follow. There was an earthquake. Might have been other ones.
Well, let's see if we can get this door to activate or something.
Okay. So I guess an investigation check on the door.
Sure.
Let's see.
Hey, Brom, you want a minor illusion of steering wheel to this thing or something?
19.
Okay. So Fidget, you're just like putting your hands in this opening and messing around and seeing what you can figure out. Or are you doing something specific?
Nope, just sticking my hands into it.
Okay. All right, so you're just sort of doing that. You're messing around. You find the same thing. It's whatever this is. It seems inert. Bra minor illusions, a steering wheel. That doesn't help anybody, but there it is. And Alar, you kind of move your way up to this vessel, and you can see as you get close to this door. You can see around the outside of it. Long, long, long ago, you can see evidence that this was like tampered with. There's signs of like tool marks. It looks like it was done with a great deal of precision and care. But you can basically see around the frame, it has been partially like dismantled or like broken in such a way that this irising door, essentially the frame that contained it had like an inner lip in it that locked into like a slot on the inside of on like the back side of these irising plates that would have like secured it closed. That has been dismantled such that with just like you could just take your hand to the like the irising plates and like push and open them up. So it looks like this was essentially broken into it at some point in the past to get access to the inside.
That would be the Invarians. All right. Hey, we got to weigh in. Come on.
Do you,
All right,
want
let's
to touch
go.
it, or do you want to mage hand it open?
I don't think Mage Hand's going to work on this. We're going to have to use force. Well, force in that, so we're going to have to put our hands on it.
I mean, do you need help trying to open it? Just pushing?
Maybe.
I will shimmy down and go to help open the door.
Okay. All right, so Alar and Nula are at the door. Walter, are you at the door as well?
I had followed him down, but I guess I'm probably more like at the bottom of the stairs. Somewhere like in between the two, because it seemed like Alar had a handle on things, so I didn't need to get too close.
All right, so I mean the deck of this ship is like 20 feet-ish wide, so you got plenty of room to just, you can be around. And then Fidget and Brom, you guys are still up on the top here of the stern castle.
I'll make my way towards the door.
Okay. And Fidget, what are you up to?
All the way to the top of the stairs.
Alrighty. Okay. So the door is in front of you. Everyone has taken their positions. What are you doing?
I'm going to try and shift a couple of the irising plates.
Alright, make a strength check.
Should I help him, or can I also make a straight?
You can aid if you want to assist. He can roll with advantage.
You've got a higher strength rating than I do, so I will assist you.
Okay, so Becky can roll with advantage.
So I roll twice?
Yep.
For strength.
Strength check. So
Strength
20
check.
plus your strength modifier.
Okay.
Lies to the lies.
Ooh, that's a 12, and then I roll again.
Yep.
and that is a 16.
Okay, so the 16 is good enough. It does still take a little bit of elbow grease. They are pretty large, and as it turns out, like fairly kind of like thick. But once you get it going a little bit, you sort of like, you have to push kind of in and up a little bit to get it going. But once it begins to iris open like that, and you can kind of get a hand into the opening you've made and sort of like push. You only have to push it like the one panel with your hand, and all the rest of them move in unison, and this essentially porthole just opens up in the side of the ship, and you are granted with a view of the interior. There is open deck, the width of the ship about 25 feet across, and about at about 60 feet you lose the ability to kind of see any further, but it probably doesn't go much further than that. It is roughly the size, as far as you can tell, of a sailing ship that you would expect to see on the ocean. It is, of course, enclosed. You can see the underside of the kind of the almost shell that is atop of this from the inside here. The space is pretty much open and clear. However, you do see a few things. It looks like somebody had gone through here and was probably taking things from within the vessel. You see, so Alar, you were looking for like pieces of metal in the ship. Mm-hmm. You see there's some places where some of those have been like placed. There are a few, looks like they're made out of like Invarian material. Sit on the deck of the ship. There's some like things that have been, some of these pieces of metal kind of like sit on them. It looks like as they were sort of working on this vessel, exploring through this vessel, they were sort of staging things here as they were bringing stuff in and out of the ship. The bizarre thing, as you look almost downward into this opening you've created, and you look at these fixtures that have been put in here, is that even as the ship is like this, these fixtures and the things on the tables and stuff are just comfortably sat. It's like one of those rooms that's like upside down and they've nailed all the furniture to the ceiling. Everything just seems to be like adhering to the floor, as if the ship wasn't like this.
Is everything sitting upright but at an angle, or is it all just tilted?
What?
I'm confused by your question, but essentially, if you were looking down into this vessel, like the vessel itself is tilted like this. But if you look at, like, say this water bottle was on a table inside the vessel.
Yeah.
The table is tilted like this because it's sitting flat on the floor of the vessel, which is tilted like this, and this water bottle is just like defying gravity, where it should be like falling. Okay. It's just like that.
Okay.
So was your question whether it's like this or like this?
It's always fun times when the paladin needs blades.
Yeah. This is what you got.
Tune in next week when we have flashcards.
Okay.
None of my cameras work, so I have to look at everyone's video with the delay. That's what's taking.
I see.
I'm going to start shimmying my way down. I'm going to light a torch as well because dark vision's nice, but I want to see this in color.
Okay.
As soon as he reaches for a torch, dancing lights pop up behind him.
Okay.
I stow the torch. Thank you. And I proceed to head toward one of the fixtures.
Okay. As soon as you pass across the threshold of the door that you've opened, you have a vertigo-inducing shifting of your inner ear as everything seems to like rotate around you. You shimmied down through the doorway, but as soon as you went through the doorway, perfectly level. You feel as if you're standing on absolutely flat, even, solid ground.
Okay, I probably look like I did that dance move that Michael Jackson did about 30 years ago. I'm looking down my feet. I'm looking back at the others. I'm looking down my feet.
So yeah, you guys now see Alar has like walked into this chamber, and he's now standing on the floor like this, just like walking around, but at a 45-degree angle, like the top of his head towards you.
I'm not gonna like this, am I?
It's just like teleporting. It's fine.
Dude, could you not?
Me next.
Yeah, careful. It's going to feel a little bit weird, but you're going to be able to stand straight.
I will take a flying leap down the stairs.
Yes. Fidget.
Fidget hasn't stood straight a day in his life.
So you leap into the gravity. You know, you let gravity take you as you want to take this downward sort of dive from the staircase towards this doorway, and you break the plane of the doorway, and immediately you go and then just hit the ground. It's awesome. It's the second you break the plane of that doorway and get onto the inside of the ship, the tilted gravity just corrects, and you are standing straight up. It's probably less disorienting for you as you did it at like a flying run than Alar, who like slid through this. But there is definitely a strange moment of like for you as you hit the ground.
I've heard about this. Isn't there like a spell that lets you climb on walls and ceilings?
Does that also change your does that also make it so that you don't feel disoriented about it?
I don't know. I've never used the spell.
I've never had a problem using it. It's not something I remember how to use anymore, but in my earlier days.
Yeah, there was a guy I knew back in the day who could walk on walls and shit. I think they called him the man spider. He was pretty amazing.
Spectacular. Get in here.
All right.
Excelsior, let's go.
And Noelle just like hops in.
Who?
Who?
No, Noelle just hops in.
There it is. She forgot every other character's name. She finally forgot her own character's name. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
We've reached Apex Nula. This is Peak Nula, ladies and gentlemen. It's all downhill from here.
I mean, really, it levels out immediately after she passes through the door, so.
Yep.
Little do we know, Nula is in a retirement home, and this is all just a figment of her imagination.
Alrighty. So Walter and Brom, you guys are still outside. Everybody else is in now.
No, I went in. I said I went.
Well, I am going to try to strap way.
What?
Like walk in, so like halfway in and halfway out.
Oh, okay.
See if that feels. See like what that feels like.
It sort of depends on where your head is for like your sense of gravity. You definitely like as you put your foot through, like you definitely feel like your foot is experiencing sort of the gravity afflicting gravity changing effect. But as long as like your head is still on the other side of the plane, you still kind of pretty much feel like you are at this angle. And as you sort of like jostle yourself around to see, it depends on like what side of the doorway your head is on. As like,
so it's literally what I'm going to be doing for like maybe like a couple seconds, just like hold on to like the door jamb and just kind of like put my head on each side.
all right, make a Constitution saving throw.
Dope. Hooray! Hooray! Can I throw away all my dice? It's a 13.
Okay, so you're all right. You do this, and as like the fluid in your inner ear is constantly like shifted back and forth, you've been on the river, certainly within the course of this campaign, and throughout the rest of your life. If you've ever been on the river or on a boat or anything like that, you do this and you realize you're starting to make yourself seasick almost.
All right.
And so you pretty quickly realize like if I don't stop, I'm gonna throw up.
Yes. So as soon as I get into the room, I'm gonna like notate all my observations about like what everybody else just like went through, just like with ALR kind of doing one of the
Sure.
and all those other things, just to keep a note about the room.
Okay. And as your dancing lights move in, and as you move in, you guys can kind of see this space a little more clearly. There are a number of sort of doesn't necessarily look like workstations, so much as it looks like they were just had potentially set up some spaces where they were like maybe cataloging things. There's a place where you do see a couple of like slivers of the metal. Looks like maybe it ripped off of the ceiling, have been kind of like put together. There are a few other spaces. Really, the metal where pieces of it have been collected is the only thing you really see. It looks like it survived the length of time that this has been down here. You see some other spaces where stuff probably was, but either it has been removed or it has been like disintegrated to the ravages of time in the time it's been.
All right. Are there 5 pieces of metal?
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna take one and give one to each of the party.
Okay. So you guys
Whoever makes it out. I'm hoping we all make it out, but in case all of us don't make it out, each of us has a bit of this metal to take back to the wizards. I've never seen it. I've never seen metal like this. It's not regular steel, is it?
It doesn't.
It's actually advanced steel.
It doesn't look especially. Just looking at it, it's not like. Yeah, it's not like sky blue or is it something crazy. It looks like metal.
Okay.
The key difference being that this thing has been down here for at least 1,500, 2,000 years, and it's just like, besides the fact that it's been smashed up and scraped and everything, it's not disintegrating, it's not crumbling, it's not rusting. That in and of itself is like very weird.
Yeah, that's... What kind of metal is this? What kind of metal survives 2,000 years at the bottom of a cavern?
I mean, there's not a... Is there a ton of moisture down here?
I mean... It's a cave, so it's like, sort of. But it's not like... water running down the walls and like underground waterfalls or anything. But it's, okay. I mean, it's sort of like damp and musty down here. It's not like bone dry desert mummy situation where it's been like preserved by a lack of humidity.
Yeah.
All right. Besides the field stations, is there anything else in the room?
Yes, there is. Something further in as you guys make your way down, and as Walter sort of moves the dancing lights, you come to the far side of this sort of the deck, sort of closer to the front of the ship, the bow of the ship, and there is, much like would be on a sailing vessel, an opening where you see a staircase descends below deck. As you guys get over to it and begin to sort of be able to peer around the lip of this opening in the floor, you can see from below deck there is a very faint bluish illumination.
Lights are on up here. If it was something alive, they would have noticed our lights already.
Yeah.
Check it out.
The only question is that from the Invarians, or is that part of the ship?
You do know that the Invarian lights that you have seen so far are sort of that flat, like, monochromatic sort of silver color. This is not the same color as the Invarians' lighting fixtures.
All right. Well, one way to find out. I'm gonna head on down.
All right. As he begins to
time
move
like the
towards the
present.
stairs, what are the rest of you doing?
I will be following directly.
Following.
Actually, I am going to cast Death Ward on ALR.
I thought you already had done
Yep.
so on me.
Oh, I did. That's right. Because that was before we rested.
Yeah, I still have it in my notes.
Okay, perfect. Who else looks like jacked up?
I'm actually fairly decent of the group. You might want to save it for yourself.
Oh, hold on. I'll not cast it then. I'll just hold on to the spell slot.
Okay. Then as you guys gather up and collectively prepare to move down this set of stairs, we'll take our break.
I'm gonna flip my keyboard.
So, if you've been with us, we've had quite an active chat tonight. Thank you guys for sticking with us. It's good to be back. I have been really enjoying your banter throughout the episode tonight. We have some man spider discussion. We had Nula t-shirts proposed. So stick with us. We're going to take about a 5-ish minute break so that everybody can refill their drinks and stretch their legs and everything, and then we will come back for the remainder of our episode tonight. So please enjoy these mid-roll slides with information about our sponsors, about proficiency bonuses, schedule, and just some real groovy tunes. All right, we'll be back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Hello, we're back. Every time we have a stream, I think there's no way Jason is going to do something that involves me to make a rule that I never thought I would have to make. But ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have the new rule for Tabletop Legends. Don't actively bake brownies during stream.
Actively is. I mean, they're cooking. They're done.
So the part of Jason will be played by that stuffed crow until he gets back on camera as he's running around dealing with brownies that are apparently boiling. Who knows?
I just want you to know, Jason, that Scooter is here, and he is judging you.
That's right, Judgment Ferret.
Put that face away, Centrit. Ferret.
Little did you know that you signed up for us discovering a fifth state of matter live on stream.
There you go. It's created brownies
Science
that are
experiments
both a
in
liquid and a
games, science
solid at
in
the same time.
You son of a... You divided by 0 again, didn't you?
Not Euclidean bacon.
So, we return. We join the Fools Errant. Walter, the Warlock, Brahm, the Bard, Alar, the Rogue, Fidget, the Sorcerer who knows things, and Noel, as they delve deep below the earth into the cavernous depths where this Invarian Research Station has been built, and find their way below decks on the mysterious vessel that has been here for thousands of years, descending the steps towards the source of an unknown blue light. As you enter into the lower deck of the ship, you see a strange and disturbing sight. The enclosed space is illuminated by this dim light that is coming from a source about 40 feet away. The space is not open and empty, as was the deck above. This appears to be a more...
Sorry, that's one of my cats.
a more functional space. There are dividers built into the space, half walls with support beams throughout the area. None of it has any immediate function, but the structure of the space creates these sort of alcoves set running along the walls, and these almost semicircular spaces in the floor, in the middle of the space. As your eyes adjust to this eerie, dim light, you see that at the far end, the source is a dome of light which encompasses floor to ceiling, sort of set to one side of the vessel. And there is almost like a tableau, a scene frozen in place. As you get a little closer, you can see that the light source is an object roughly 6 feet in height, an intricate-looking metal scaffolding and support structures surrounding it. It looks almost like an hourglass. The sand inside it is this sort of electric sky blue. Seems to be what is giving off the illumination. It is, however, in the process, falling over. Frozen in space, frozen in time ahead of you, you see several of the support structures that anchored this thing in place inside this vessel appear to have broken. And it is at an angle that you can tell is far beyond its normal operational position. It is in the process of falling, but frozen in time. You see a large crack running up the glass. Some of that bluish sand seems to be in midair, seeping out of it. And around this whole structure, there is a boundary of it almost appears to be like light that has taken on physical dimension. Between this device and the glow that it emanates and yourselves stands one of the creatures. It is as distorted and monstrous as the others that you had seen thus far, but it bears a difference to the others. It is not one singular entity fracturing off, but it is more like a long snake, almost. You're immediately reminded of the moment that you saw the flashback of the explosion, the individuals above, where when the explosion went off, they were stretched along their timeline and slammed back together. This creature, the end point facing you, stretches backwards until it connects with the place where the light boundary is in front of that device. It doesn't have a face or eyes, but you can tell that it is looking right at you. Roll initiative.
Ah, crap.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not my d20. That's my d20. Okay.
$13.
That was Alar?
Yep.
Okay. Fidget?
10.
10. Nula?
19.
Okay. Walter?
Walter?
17. Sorry, I
And Brahm?
18.
Alrighty. As you guys enter into this space, catch sight of this creature, you lock eyes with it. There is a heartbeat where you look at it and it looks at you. And then all at once, it begins rushing forward. And much like the other creatures that you had seen, and like this massive dog beast that you've encountered, it moves faster almost than you can follow. One moment it is standing there motionless, staring at you. The next it has already covered half the distance between where it was and where the group of you stand. Nula, you were the first to react. It is perhaps now 25 feet from you and coming fast. The snake-like protrusion of its body, which as it starts to move, you see is essentially made up of as if like multiple copies of itself were all just stretched out and moving in slow motion behind its own path, leading back. Snake across the chamber as the, for lack of a better term, the head of it, the prime body, comes rushing directly at your group. What are you doing?
Is it within range?
25 feet from you.
25 feet from me. Can I hold an action until it gets closer?
Sure.
Okay.
Alrighty, so Newly, you hold your action to wait for it to come to you as you basically it comes charging towards you. You lift your hammer and prepare. Brahm, you're the next to react.
So what did you say its skin was like?
It's the
Or
same,
it's
like,
whatever it is.
carbon, sort of charcoal-y matter that the rest of them have been made out of.
Okay.
But whereas they've been more like one singular creature with, multiple arms, multiple heads, multiple torsos all springing out, this has all of that same stuff, but it is like elongated, stretching out behind it so that as it comes towards you, it is like a snake filling the entire space back to where that light is.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on it.
Okay. So you need to make a wisdom save, right?
Yes.
Right. So you cast your hand forward and you feel a surge of magic rush forward towards this creature. And perhaps it breaks its stride for the briefest of moments as your magic connects with it, but it continues to rush forward undeterred.
Cool.
Walter, you are up.
Step 1, unmute. Step 2, it's taken 2 Eldritch Blast to the face.
Alright.
Go backward.
And then roll to
The
hits.
lowest is a 17.
17 will hit.
Yeah, so the other one is a 14 plus, so the other one's a 20.
Okay, yeah, both of those will hit.
Alright. And it's going to go back 20 feet towards the light, I guess.
Okay.
And try to, like, push it back into itself, like...
Sure.
Just like Patrick trying to, like, push everybody else's problems.
Go ahead and roll some
And it's going to take some d10. It's going to take 10 points of force damage. Got a 9 and a 1 on them.
So your Eldritch Blast, one after another, streak across the intervening space, slamming one after the other into this thing's center mass. And it does reel backwards, but it's... Immediately, you can see that it doesn't necessarily do what you were hoping for. The prime form slides back 20 feet, but it is continuing to leave after images in its wake. So there is still the form of this creature just as close as it was 25 feet ahead. Sort of ghosting behind the motions of the first one. So you see this after image basically catching up and like repeatedly over and over again, like getting to the point where you hit the prime form and like reeling back and merging into itself as this thing continues to like snake backwards.
I'm going to move, like, a little further back to be behind people a bit more.
Oh, yeah, you can back up.
And yeah, maybe like 5-10 feet. I'm not sure how much room is in the room.
We'll say you guys have moved like 20 feet into the room. So you got about 20
Okay,
feet before like the stairs.
Sure, I'll move like 10 feet back
Okay.
towards the entrance.
Alrighty. Walter moves 10 feet back after slamming into this thing. And what you guys see as this happens, as it is hit by the Eldritch Blast, the prime form seems to be blasted backwards through its own wake. A moment later, it's almost as if the positioning of the prime form shifts. And part of that snake-like after-image that had been, like, repeatedly going through the process of getting hit, now, like, flickers for a moment and takes up position now at the head of the charge of this creature, and it rushes forward again. It immediately, within the span of a second, closes the remaining 25 feet and is now in front of the group of you. Walter, you have
Can-
backed up. Go ahead. Your action will go off, Nula, so you can take a swing.
Okay. Should I do that now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. 24 to hit.
Yes, a 24 will hit.
That is 12 points of damage.
Okay. You swing your hammer into this creature as it gets up to you. The hammer connects with its chest, makes this sort of dull, like, noise as it strikes into the form of this creature, which is kind of halted in its momentum as it comes towards you. It immediately lifts one of its hands, and the hand is like leaving after images of itself in its wake, and slaps the hammer down away from its chest, and then lashes out to attack. And the way that happens, as it bats this hammer away, you see the prime form of this creature. Basically, the top half of the torso splits 3 ways.
Oh.
So where there was a singular head, 2 heads emerge on either side, 2 shoulders, until there are 3 complete torsos standing on top of 1 set of legs. And in unison, one of the arms on each of those 3 torsos lashes forward towards a different person. Alar, Nula, and Brahm.
Yep.
So against Nula, that is a 20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Against Brahm, that is only a 12.
Does not hit.
That's a 9.
That doesn't hit either.
No, the dice is a 9, the dice is a 9, not a 6.
Well,
So it's actually a 15 to hit.
well,
So that hits. And then Alar, the dice is a 17, so that'll hit as well, I assume.
Okay.
All right, so these 3 appendages lash back and strike forward. Nula, you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Brahm, you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. And Alar also 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
I employ Uncanny Dodge.
Okay. As it completes this sort of motion, the 3 upper bodies just whip one arm forward, not even bothering, not making a fist, not making a claw, just basically clubbing you with this arm. The arm itself connects with you, and you physically feel it strike you as if you had been punched by something solid, but it then proceeds almost to pass through you, burning the entire way across. I need everybody who just got hit to make a Constitution saving throw.
19.
Okay?
11.
Okay. Okay, you guys are all fine. So, something about the flickering, sort of not quite present in sync with time of this creature. Basically, its arm punches you, hits you, but then phases through your body, just damaging all the way through. You feel for a moment disoriented. Your head swims as this unbelievably painful experience of having something not quite solid pass through your body. Almost stuns you, staggers you. But you guys maintain your focus. And Alar, it is your turn. As now the 3 separate torsos of this thing snap back into one creature.
Okay. My attack is a 22. I'm going to stab it and attempt Booming Blade.
Okay.
So, as it's engaged, it's also a sneak attack. So let me roll the sneak attack damage first. Okay, so sneak attack damage is 18. The rapier does 5, and the booming blade does 4. So 9 plus 18, 27.
27 total. All right.
Yep.
You drive your rapier into this creature, which sort of like reels inward from the blade, creating this very strange effect as like continually every time it moves, the after image continues to like follow behind it. So you stab in and you see like the form of the creature with your blade driven to the hilt still in like the after image, even as the prime form is like lurching backwards from it. It definitely looks almost surprised.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, go ahead.
I was supposed to roll 2d8 for the booming blade. So add 4 more points, 31 total.
Alrighty. All right. So, it reels back half a step, almost as if caught off guard. And there is a moment where you see it sort of begin to turn. The after image of the blank head still staring towards you as the prime form of the head turns away, looking back over its shoulder. It raises one arm, leaving copies of the arm behind, and gestures towards something on the far side of the chamber. Behind one of those semicircular fixtures in the center of the chamber, a second creature stands up. This one, not snake-like, like the one you're fighting. This one looking more like the ones you had encountered on your descent down. But it, too, moves unnaturally quick, supernaturally quickly, as it rushes around this fixture and begins to dash towards you. So all it's going to do this turn is move, as it has to use its dash action to get from where it was to you guys. But it is able to get right up to the group of you, like next to its companion. And Fidget, you are up.
They are next to each other. Is there enough space for me
yes.
to
Mhm.
line them up? If there's enough space to line them up,
Yes, there is.
then I'm gonna lightning bolt those guys.
All right, go for it.
So it's a DC 14 deck save.
Well, they rolled a 1 and a 3, so I think they fail.
That is 42 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to bonus action hide behind Walter, who is hiding behind everyone else.
Okay. So Fidget kind of
Acceptable.
scurries around to the others, casts his hands out, shoots
Stuffs his
off this
feet against
crack of
the
lightning.
metal.
Yep. Charges up, gets a balloon, rubs it on his hair. This massive crackle of lightning comes out of Fidget's outstretched hands, overpowering the dim illumination from the shattering time device at the back of the chamber, and leaving sort of an after image, this white lightning bolt after image in the air. The two creatures sort of like spasm and flail wildly. The primary monster essentially now at least the space that it occupies, Alar, right in front of you, it almost looks like this confusing, interlocking, like, sphere as it's continuing to leave this after image after it's, like, flailing around. So there's just, like, a solid mass of shifting creature in front of you now. The other one actually drops to one knee after the impact of this lightning bolt and is, like, takes a second struggling to get back to its feet, smoke roiling off of it as it's been zapped. And that brings us to the top of the order with Nula. So you have both of these creatures are in melee range for you now. The one that joined the fray and the main one.
I'm gonna attack the main one.
Okay, go ahead and roll the hit.
Nine.
No, a 9 will not hit.
All right, for my second attack.
Okay.
19.
A 19 will hit.
And 10 points of damage.
Alrighty. You slam your hammer into this. You swing the first time, and it's a little... For a second, you're like, how did I possibly miss? The thing has basically created a wall of monster in front of me at this point. But you realize that, except for perhaps the prime form, that trail, that snake trail it's leaving is only, like, semi-corporeal. So your hammer sort of phases through part of it, the first swing. But you manage to catch sort of against the shoulder of the creature on the second swing with this resounding, like, cracking noise, like the sound of dry wood being snapped. And that brings us to Brahm.
Okay.
So
I'm going to cast
Go ahead.
at the main one.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers
Alrighty.
at 3rd level.
Alright, so it makes a save, right?
Yeah, wisdom save.
It rolls a 6, so it's going to fail.
Okay, so it's going to take... Oh, dice on the floor.
Dice everywhere.
Luckily, not any of the dice I needed. 4. Okay, it's going to take a whole bunch of dice of damage. It's going to take 22 points of damage.
Whoa!
That's why I cast it at such a high level.
Wait. Did Brom just do damage with a spell?
Yeah, we need
Yeah, Brom actually hit with a spell.
Okay, so Brahm, you sort of pull back. The rest of you guys hear he like drops his voice very low, and you just begin to hear this sort of like hiss coming from him as he's speaking very quickly and very quietly under his breath. The monster, the prime form of it, you see immediately like starts flailing its head back and forth, eventually like locking in his direction, sort of like lurching forward so that the top half of it comes out of this cloud it's leaving behind it. Does Dissonant Whispers cause it to flee from
Move
you?
away. Move as far away.
Okay, so it's going to immediately move, begin to like backpedal, invoking attacks of opportunity from anybody who is in range. So that would be Alar.
That'll also kick off the booming blade.
Kicks off the booming blade. Alar, Nula, and Brahm, you can all use your reactions to take attacks of opportunity if you wish.
Okay. It immediately takes 7 points of damage.
Okay.
19 to hit.
19 does hit.
Um,
8 damage.
Damage. I seem to have lost my phone.
20, not natural to hit.
That does hit as well.
24.
Can I? Does Psychic Blades work on a attack of opportunity or just a regular attack?
No, because you have to use, I believe, Bardic Inspiration is your bonus action.
Yes.
Right, so this is your reaction, so no, you cannot do booming
Okay,
blade.
so it's just going to take some rapier damage.
Okay.
And that's going to be... Seven points of rapier damage.
Okay.
So it takes 17 more points of damage as I get one last sneak attack off.
Okay. Alrighty. So, it's going to move in like the blink of an eye. It moves almost all the way back to its starting position. So there is now like, from where it started, there is like a long trail, snake-like set of after images moving towards you guys, then a confused, writhing cluster right in front of you. Pardon me, I am about to choke to death. 1 second. Swallowed some spit down the wrong pipe. And then it moves away from you, back to the other side of the room. Walter, you're up.
Fidget, you think there's anything more behind those things you can't see? Like those little cloves? No, Fidget.
Carlos, you're muted.
Fidget's muted. Fidget's muted.
I just unmuted it. I don't think I still have the Arcane Eye up, so your guess is as good as mine.
All right. Well, I guess let's change the lights in the. And I'm gonna fill the old girl up with sickening radiance.
All right.
It's a 30-foot diameter sphere. I'm going to put it so the edge of the sphere is right on the other side of where everybody else is standing. So, kind of trying to fill the room with as much of that as I can get to fill corners with where things I can't see. I think that would also interact with the other light dome, so I'm actually curious to see what that would look like.
Okay. Alrighty. So let's see.
And, it's a DC 14 con save for everything inside the sphere.
Okay. So. Alrighty. Okay. So, what is the half damage on the save, right?
No, saber suck.
Okay. So what's the damage?
I know they're not going to take any exhaustion, but they will glow if I hit them, and they can't be invisible.
Dang it! That was their next thing they were gonna do.
Suddenly, it's a room full of shadows. It's like, oh no, they've been invisible. Yeah, right. Anything that failed takes 17 points of radiant damage as they are coated in a creepy green light.
Alrighty. The smaller one, the second one that appeared, like, still hasn't really fully recovered from getting lightning bolted. Continues to, like, shrink down. The snake guy seems unaffected. And as this light, like, illuminates the area, it's a little difficult to tell. You don't see anything different where the time device and that sphere of light is coming. It looks unaffected.
Okay, so like they're kind of like a dome of light like this, and just kind of.
It's hard to see because you're like standing on the other side of it, looking through all the green light.
Yes.
So
okay.
For as far as you can tell from where you're standing, it's just like it's still there. It's unchanged.
Okay. Yep. So my dancing lights have since disappeared. Then.
Okay.
I have to concentrate on this.
That's fine. So it gets a little dimmer in here, but between the creepy green light and the glow that this thing is giving off, you guys are not having any issues seeing. Okay. Anything else? Walter?
No. I'm just gonna be partial cover for Fidget for the remainder of his turn, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else I can do. Nope.
Okay. for the second time, you guys see the positioning along the length of this thing's form. The prime form switches locations. From all the way in the back of the room, the prime form reemerges from that cloud right in front of the group of you.
Right in front of who?
Like where the cloud was between, like right next to Alar and Nula.
Okay.
The prime form like reemerges. It's actually going to. It basically just pushes forward, and it's let's see. Nula, it'll invoke an attack of opportunity from you. Alar, you don't have your reaction back yet.
Yeah, no, I don't.
So it basically just comes out of this like cloud of its own after images and sprints past you towards where Fidget and Walter are standing, further behind.
Did it start its turn in the cloud, in the dome? It has to make the save on the start of its turn.
Ill-defined. I guess I'll make the save. We'll say yes.
Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does not hit. And what was the save?
DC 14 con save.
Okay, I guess 16 to save, so it saves
Yep.
again. Okay. So
Here we go.
the prime
Goodbye,
form
butthole.
comes up by Fidget and Walter, and it does something different this time. The same, but different. It split the prime form into 3 the last time it did this. The prime form right by Fidget and Alar, or Fidget and Walter. Fidget, a fist comes out of its thigh, like directly at the height of your head.
Yeah.
As the upper body, Walter, basically like reaches 2 hands, like claw-like, to just like grab your head. Meanwhile, that after-image snake that it's leaving behind, which is now split, is now basically dividing Alar and Nula, and then Brahm on the far side of her. 2 upper torsos come leaning out of either side of that and attack Nula and Alar as well, making a total of 4 attacks.
Holy crap.
So we'll start with Fidget and Walter. So Fidget, the thigh fist. 17 to hit. I assume hits. You're muted, but
He's
you're
muted
a wizard,
again.
so I think we can.
I am a wizard, is what I said.
Walter, that is only a 12 against you.
No, I'm able to dip it.
Okay.
My AC is 14. So.
All right. So you like reel out of the way. Alar, 18 to hit you.
That hits.
Alrighty, and Nula, 22 against you.
Aww.
Alrighty, so anybody that just got hit. Let's see. So Fidget, you take a whopping 4 points of damage.
I'll take it.
The thigh fist just doesn't have the same leverage.
Yeah, it's not the same leverage. Alar, that is 7 points against you.
Okay. I don't have my reaction, so I can't uncanny
You'll
dodge.
take the full 7. And Nula, you are going to take 9 points of damage.
Oh, lovely.
And then I need the 3 of you to make a Constitution saving throw again.
Of course.
17.
Okay.
Nat 20 plus 4.
Nice.
Well, I rolled a 3,
Oh boy.
But what if it was a 19?
Oh,
Important.
That's the last of those.
Fidget,
It's for the best.
as the thigh fist comes at your face, you remember briefly, you get this flash from this morning as you were preparing, going about your business, getting ready for the day, and just sort of absently running your fingers over the threads of your various cloths. You remember seeing Alar sort of bump into a partially disassembled tent, hitting himself like right in the center of the thigh, just sort of casually like and just something about the knot, the tangle in the thread you were talking told you, like, I don't know, watch out for something to do with thighs today. And as this thigh fist emerges, you say, "This is it."
I've prepared for this all day.
You have been ready for this all day. As you sort of like lean back, it connects with you. It doesn't get as solid a hit as you want, and as you feel the form of this fist mingle with your own torso, it doesn't quite get as deep as it would have otherwise, and it hurts, but it's not debilitating. The others of you, you simply manage to shake off the potential effects. So that is
It's another band I used to be in, Thigh Fist.
Thigh Fist. I want to start making like Brahms band T-shirts.
It was Thigh Fist earlier.
And Busted Catwalk.
Busted Catwalks.
Busted Catwalk.
All right, well, that is its turn. Alar, you are up. It is
I
the prime
will-
form is about 10 feet behind you, where Alar or where Walter and Fidget are standing, but the after image has just leaned out and attacked you.
Okay.
Did the after image take or did that second dude take any?
He hasn't had a turn yet. He
Okay,
got
good.
hit the first time, but it's not his turn yet.
Gotcha.
I am going to use my bonus action to disengage from the second dude
Okay.
and the after image, and I'm going to get behind the prime one. Does a 19 hit?
Yes.
Okay. Booming blade. That's 6. Rapier damage is 3. Is also 6, so that's 12. And sneak attack damage is. So it's going to take 22 points of damage.
Okay. All right, so you thrust your rapier into the back of this prime image, which sort of like leans forward. Bizarrely, as has been your experience, it's not. It doesn't give out any like cries of pain or noise. It's not growling or anything else. It's just quiet. The sounds in this room are the sounds of like, its movement. Its feet make sound on the ground. You guys are making noise. There is no sound being emanated from this creature. And anything else?
Nope. That's my action.
So the other monster is gonna have its turn now. It'll make its save. It rolls a 16 as well. Weird. I think that's what the other one rolled. So it saves. Okay.
Yeah, it saves.
So
I was so excited to say rolling.
it's gonna step forward. It actually so it steps forward out of the light, and you see it kind of turn. Nula and Brahm are on the other side of like the snake after image.
Mm-hmm.
And so it like kind of turns in your direction, but this after image is between it and you, so it just turns and goes after Alar. Because it seems to be like it seems to whether it can't pass through that after image or it like chooses not to, it turns and goes after Alar. So it's going to attack Alar twice. The lower of the two is a 17. I believe that.
Okay, so both will hit.
Okay. So the first attack is a 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
I will uncanny dodge that one.
Okay. And the second attack is also 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Ow.
So no Constitution saving throw on this one. This hit you just get clubbed, like the other ones you had seen by this one, as it sort of like bears down on you. It does grapple you, however, as the other one. So as it hits you, you start to get like crunched into its like very form. So that is going to be its turn, and Fidget, you are up.
I mean, Carlos, am worried about what happens if I lightning bolted in close quarters in a metal ship. Also, are any of my friends on the other side of it? Fidget is a trash goblin, so he's just going to lightning bolt it and try to angle it up.
Alrighty.
But whatever happens, happens.
Okay.
So that is a DC 14 dexterity save.
Let me see.
And we TPK from the trash goblins.
Don't worry, I vouched for the trash goblin to the group because of my vision. So this is somehow.
So it does succeed on its saving throw, and what I'll say is, essentially, you are able, like, you're able to lightning bolt it, and you don't hit anybody else because this thing is leaving an after image in like snake style behind it. Even though Alar came up to attack it, Alar physically can't get behind it because it's continuous. So Alar has to be askew to it. So basically, you being in front of it as Trash Goblin can, you lightning bolt in your straight line, and that lightning bolt just goes straight down the after image it's leaving behind. Its own form essentially keeps any of your party members from being able to be in your line of fire. It does succeed at saving throw, so it'll take half damage.
It'll take half of 34, so
Okey-dokey.
17.
17 damage. Alright, so once again, it sort of like reels backwards a little bit, again forming another one of these like monster spheres where all of its limbs and torso and legs were flailing about.
Not to make a bad situation worse, but does his lightning bolt hit that device?
It does not appear to, no.
Okay.
Okay.
But what if it did?
Alright, anything else, Fidget?
No, that's what Fidget's doing.
Okay, Nula, you are up. So you are essentially... let me see if I can give you guys a little assistance here. So, as terrible as this is, I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to see it. So this is like the device, right, where it started. And it came running up. This is like the first cloud it made. Then Brahm chased it back, and then it reemerged from the cloud here. So, essentially what you're looking at here is like... This is Nula and Brahm on this side of this thing. Then Alar is on this side of it. And it's here, and then, like, Walter and Fidget are in front of it like that. So, like, Nula, you're right here. It's like its body just punched you. And, like, your friends are sort of over here, and there's, like, a line of this thing dividing you guys in half.
So there's no way that I could hit both creatures in a cone-like fashion.
Oh, the other one is standing... sorry. The other one is... Let's see. Is there a way that you could get both of them in a cone? No, probably not.
No.
The way that it's positioned and like where your friends... I mean... I guess I should correct. I should say, yes, you probably can, but you also have to hit most of your party to do that.
Okay. No, I'm
Based
just
on
going to
where
hit it with my hammer.
Okay, so you're like striking into the after image where it just punched you, or you're moving up
Yeah.
to like the prime form.
I'm gonna move up to the prime form.
Okay, all right. So you move over to the prime form. Go ahead and roll to hit.
19,
A 19 will hit.
and that's 5 points of damage for my first attack. Second attack
5. Okay.
does 14 hit.
14 does not hit. No. So again, your
Okay.
hammer sort of phases through it. Alrighty. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Brom, you're up. You might be.
You're muted.
Okay. So, where is it now? I saw that map. Where was it now in relation to me? And
So, it's like 10 feet back from you. The, essentially, if you're here, there's like 10 feet from you this way, there's like the line of it, and then, like, it's here. So it's like a 10-foot step, basically, on a thing.
is anybody looking bleedy right now?
Bleedy.
I'm looking rather bleedy.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to 53, I am a 14.
On a scale of 1 to 45, I am a 11.
15 out of 42.
Ow.
Yeah, we're fine. No, we're fine. We're actually all fine.
Yeah.
Carlos is muted.
All right. I'll cure wounds at 3rd level on Alar.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a lot of dice.
Damage.
Okay. So I believe it. That's gonna be 23 points of healing.
I will take that.
Alrighty, so, Rom, you step forward and you release a surge of healing magic towards Alar. Alar, some of your sort of bludgeoning wounds and battering. Sigh of relief as it closes. Anything else, Brom?
Am I far enough away to without evoking attack of opportunity?
Yes, you are.
Alright, so I'll back up as far away from it as I can get.
Alrighty. So you basically... That would be like you essentially are moving towards the side of the ship, so you can probably back up
Okay.
like 10 more feet from it and be a total of like 20 feet from the line of it, essentially.
That's fine.
Alrighty. Walter, you are up.
Muted. So it's too close. But I'm gonna try see if I can push the prime back into the light. I think that's 20 feet away.
If you can hit it twice, yes, it'll go back into the...
All right. First hit at disadvantage, and see if it goes back 20 feet or 10 feet. Does a 12 hit?
No, 12 does not hit.
Okay. Second beam. Are you fucking kidding me? It's a 10.
No.
So my good rolls were a 19 and a 20 for the actual number on the dice.
So no, you
So
point blank, and like both of your beams just seem like they go through it.
still not acclimated to these
flickering
after
and
images. Can I just like do one of those like just pick fidget up and put it like right in front of me?
I don't think so.
That's an action.
That
All
would
right.
be an action.
Yeah. I am going to I guess pull out my shovel and bonus action Shillelagh.
Okay.
Just get ready. Just gonna brace.
Alrighty. So, you brace as both of your Eldritch Blasts zip through it. Pick up your shovel and prepare to defend yourself. And once again, the prime position of the creature shifts, and Brahm, the prime form, emerges from that vertical snake trail where it had like split between you and Nula and the others, and the prime comes up to you. And now, simultaneously, part of this thing's after image lunges forward and swings at all 5 of you at once. So we're going to go right in order of my cameras here. Walter. 17 plus things will hit, I assume.
Against Walter?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, that part cut out.
Brahm. That is a 11, so I assume that misses.
Does not hit.
Okay. Alar. Only a 13, so that'll miss.
That's a clean miss.
All right, Fidget. 18 plus things. And Nula, a 4 plus things. So a
That will not hit.
9 total. So I believe Walter and Fidget got hit, right?
Yup.
All right. So Walter, you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And Fidget, you take...
Protection.
Yes, maybe? Let me see.
I don't think she's close. I think she's only close to me.
No, she moved.
No.
Oh.
She
Yes,
moved
she
over.
actually can protect Fidget.
Ha!
Okay. That applies when I'm attacking him rather than the damage, but I will re-roll his damage dice to see how he does. The second roll, the lower roll, is still a 19.
Yep, that's fine.
So you are going to take 8, 9, 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Uh-huh.
And then the 2 of you who got hit, I need Constitution saving throws.
I get to make 2 concentrations. Two constitutions. 1 at advantage for concentrating on green light, and then 1 for the damage. So the damage first. 19 for the damage save.
Okay, yep, that saves.
And then concentration with advantage. 14. How many points of damage did I take?
The DC would have just been a 10, so you're okay.
Okay. Yeah, so 14.
Okay.
And mine is also a 19.
All right, so you guys are both fine. So this thing keeps
Not
pulling
really,
into
but
you.
yes.
Well, fine is a relative term in this situation. Could be worse.
Yeah.
All right. So that brings us to Alar.
I'm going to give him a bad day. That's a natural 20.
Yeah, okay. Critical hit on the main one, right?
So let's see. So that's. I'm going to write this all down. And, Four and booming blade. So it takes 35 points of damage altogether.
Jesus.
That's not even the max I could have done, but yeah,
All right. What did you just do, Alar?
I lean back and then just grab it and drive my rapier straight through its chest and activate the booming blade.
All right.
So blowing a big hole in its chest.
So, Alar grabs this thing by the back of the shoulder. You feel, as soon as you, touch it, You feel like you put your hand on like a boiling cauldron as your hand like burns. But you fight through it, you pull it back, you stab your sword into it, and then surge the magic through the blade. The chest blows outward. And then the rest of the creature bursts. Force of energy rushes through you, through Fidget, through Nula, who are close to it, through Walter. And the after images, the snake. Chain reaction begins to go off. These after images start exploding. Everything is chaotic. You guys quickly, like, you can't see as it's just light and noise. As this chain reaction goes off, getting further and further back, tracing the entirety of the fight that you've just had. These images of this creature exploding. It goes on for what seems like minutes, but probably couldn't have been more than a few seconds. As your vision clears and you're able to look again, you can see right up at the border of that illumination by this device, the creature still stands. You spare a glance for the other creature, the secondary one, and it lies smashed and scattered, destroyed on the ground. The prime figure, now on a very short, snake-like trail leading back to the after image, steps up, seems to roll its shoulders, and hunkers down, preparing to charge again. But before it does, there is a glow from behind it. The sphere of light surrounding that device flares and ripples, and something emerges from it. Bone white, snout first, muzzle, hollow eye sockets, the canine skull of the hulking beast that you've faced twice, followed by its shoulder, its torso, its upper body, emerges from the light. One massive claw smashes down onto the prime creature's form, battering it into the ground. You see the figure of it scatters beneath the weight of the strike. It grows quiet in the room as you guys stand there. It looks at you, and you look at it. What do you do?
Fidget is making a break for the device.
Okay. You run right at it.
Yep.
What's everybody else doing?
So I will note that creepy green light is still active.
Oh, Fidget, you run into the creepy green light.
I will. Okay, I'm going to as soon as I see it, I'm going to dismiss the creepy green light.
Okay.
Just for the sake of.
All right. So Fidget starts to run. The rest of you guys, Walter's like, ah! Shuts down his spell. What are the rest of you guys doing?
You said the device had a crack in it, and some of the sand was escaping.
Seems to be, and that's like inside this sort of dome.
I'm going to how big is the dome?
So the device itself is about 6 feet tall, and this
I
dome
mean
is like
the solid light.
So the solid light extends probably 5-6 feet beyond where like the device is inside it. So it's pretty big.
Okay. I am going to cautiously move forward until I'm close enough to cast Mage Hand, and I'm going to try and use the Mage Hand to gather some of the loose sand.
Okay. So just to give you guys a the clear sort of indication of what you're doing right now, so we're all on the same page. if this is your chamber again, right? You guys kind of are all here. Here's the device. So it's like the dog thing is partially out of that dome of light, like right between you and it. So you're sort of moving forward, and Fidget, you're basically running at the device. You are running straight at the dog creature as well.
Yep.
So, is anybody else doing anything as these two are beginning to move?
I want to see what the dog does. Like, I don't want to hit the dog if I don't have to.
Alrighty. So, Alar, you're trying to move cautiously, trying to kind of eke around. Fidget is going to get there first, as Fidget is running. Fidget, as you run, you're running straight at this dog creature. What's your plan as you get to like where it's between you and the dome?
If it tries to make some kind of move, I'm gonna try to juke it.
Okay.
It is sort of what he's thinking. Like if it lunges, he can try to like slide underneath it or duck to the side or something like that. He's expecting it to do something when he gets closer.
Alrighty. You run at it. And it just sort of watches you, turning its skull head as you sort of go up to it and kind of to the side, right for the device. You run into that dome of light, and you collide as if you had run into a solid wall. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, and you just like you fall flat on your back, and it's like looking at you.
Fidget is unconscious.
Okay, Fidget is unconscious. All right, so Fidget goes and hits the ground and is not moving.
Bonus action healing word.
Sure.
I'm gonna. How far is he? 'Cause I think it's got a 30-foot range, but it might have a 60-foot. God damn it! It's got a 60-foot range, so I think it's fine.
All right.
All right. Bonus action healing word. Fidget is picked up for 5 points of. Yeah, 5 points of healing.
Fidget, you immediately you wake up and you're like you remember being upright and now you are on your back, and you are staring
I'm
up.
not
It
going
just
to move.
knocked you out.
Not gonna move.
Alrighty. Alar, when you get there, you find the same thing. Your mage hand does not go through the barrier.
Okay. And it didn't attack
It's not doing
Fidget
anything right
as
now.
much.
It almost seems perplexed.
Okay. I'm going to sheathe my rapier.
Okay.
And I'm going to get over to where Fidget is and help him to his feet.
I'm not getting up.
My eyes are flicking between the device and its strange solid sphere of light and the big creature.
Okay. So Fidget's not helping you as he's just gone boneless, and you're like sort of like.
Fidget, come on, help me.
I'm good here.
Can I use speak with animal?
Can try.
What do I have to roll for that?
I think you just use it. It's just a spell you can use.
Okay. Hello, pupper.
The head goes from watching like Alar struggle to like pull Fidget away, and Fidget going like, "Don't touch me!" And
It is clear that my destiny is to be on the ground.
The skull goes and looks at you.
Hi, puppy. Who's a good doggy? You're a good doggy.
Noah, what in the 9 hells are you doing?
Good puppy. You don't want to hurt us, do you? No.
didn't, but it's gonna want to now.
Make an animal handling check.
Ooh. I rolled
How
a
about this guy
nat.
with the pony?
I rolled a nat 1, and I
I
have
would like
minus
to
1.
involve the golden 20 and give it to Nula.
Okay. Okay. we have a golden D20 donation for Nula's animal handling.
I am saying a silent prayer to Mr. Goddess Magic. Please, if you actually exist, help this poor paladin now so we don't die.
As you're like baby talking to it like it's a puppy, it like cricks its head and lifts one of its arms to like crush Fidget. But as it like gets its hand up, it stops. And it sort of looks to you guys, and for a moment it seems to consider you, Nula, as you're continuing this like sweet baby talk, this sort of soothing coo that you're trying to direct at it. And you see it shift as if it's like pondering something behind it. And then from beneath its other arm, where the clawed hand rests on the ground, you see motion. Fidget, Alar, you see the black carbonous material of the prime form of that creature begins to reassemble. And at first the creature doesn't seem to notice it. It's looking behind it, turns its head slowly back towards Nula. Just as the prime form of the creature, the monster, comes back together, you almost feel this sense that the dog creature has like come to a conclusion. And it looks down where the prime monster is reforming beneath its paw. And for a second time it just goes and crushes it. And this time there is a rattling explosion that shakes everybody's bones. Everybody make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh boy.
16.
Okay.
Nat 20, 21.
Okay.
Also an ad 20.
Wow.
So it's 20 something.
6.
Okay.
22.
You're muted.
5.
Yeah.
Fidget, you're unconscious again.
No!
As
I'm
is
unconscious
Walter.
again. Yeah.
You guys are just like knocked out. An eruption of energy echoes forth through this entire chamber. You see the dome of light surrounding the device shatters. The entire vessel lurches and rocks. And then the wave passes over you. Fidget and Walter both collapse. The other three of you maintain consciousness. And you find yourself back in an echo again. You're standing on the deck of the ship. The device nestled safely inside its casing, pulsing and emitting a faint glow of light. "Be quick about it," says a wizened elven man, wearing long gold and white robes instead of the teal of the other researchers. "And be cautious. If you or any of those filthy creatures damage the device, we're all worse than dead." "Of course, my lord," says the other elf in the chamber as he approaches the alcove, bending down beneath the ledge, behind where the device is stationed. There is a distressed as he stands back up holding a squirming, short, blue-furred pup with a long, pointed tail which writhes violently back and forth. "Just 2 of the little ones down here," he says, before letting out a startled yelp as the pup gives a defiant and with a small pop vanishes out of his hand and appears a few feet away, falling in a heap to the ground. It gets up and scrabbles to its feet as it tries to run back for the cover of the alcove. But the Invarian recovers from his surprise and pulls out a short sword. He sticks the poor creature with it. It gives one pained "Aye!" Stops moving. "On with it," says the elder elf. But he is cut off by a deep, vicious another pop, and a much larger canine creature with pure white fur blinks into existence, fangs bared ferociously. It appears in a crouch and leaps onto the Invarian with the sword, a flash of teeth and a fountain of crimson as the hound tears the man's throat out. He falls to the ground with little more than a gurgle as the creature rounds on who must be the chronomancer. He sneers as he lifts a hand towards the creature, a spark of fire shooting from his fingertip, as the hound blinks out of existence again, appearing feet from him and repeating the lunging jump for his throat. The mage is faster than the soldier and raises a shield of magic, off of which the hound rebounds before landing a few feet away. The pair face one another, both ready to make their move. And that's when the earthquake starts. Both the mage and the hound are rattled sideways. The mage skitters off his feet and bangs his head on one of the protrusions. The hound is rocked off balance and darts back and forth, confused for a moment. A terrified whining and crying comes from beneath the alcove behind the device, and time seems to slow down. Everything happening at once. The quake lurches the ship. One of the braces on the device snaps, and it tips sideways, smashing against the alcove wall. A pulse of energy begins to emanate from it at a creeping pace. The mage stands up, shaking his head in confusion, before looking up and screaming in terror. The energy field begins to expand. The pup in the alcove cries out. The mage raises his hand and prepares to cast a spell. The hound regains its footing, blinks out of existence, reappearing near the alcove. The hound dives forward, rushing towards its pup. The mage is halfway through making the motion for a dimension door spell when the dome of energy flickers and rushes outward. Time stands still once again. The hound is caught partway through the dome of the energy as it explodes. Its back legs caught in the threshold. The mage is not fast enough and is blown apart by the wave of force at the center, and the hourglass freezes. As the echo fades, everything gets dim again. And those of you who are still conscious, as your vision clears, you hear a crash. Fidget's unconscious. Alar, right next to you, the hourglass-shaped device smashes to the floor, sand scattering everywhere and the light dimming from within it. The rocking of the ship continues for a few more moments. There's a tense pause, as it seems like the ship might shake itself loose and lurch deeper into the chasm. But then everything grows still. It seems as if it's finally over.
All right. Nula, Braun, do you have any healing spells left?
I have my lay on hands, so I will rush over and 5 points healing to the two people who are down. 5 points each.
All right, you guys regain consciousness.
All right.
It is dark
What'd you see? What the hell?
They killed the dog and the puppies. Mostly the puppies.
That creature, the big thing, was a parent, mother, father to small pups that were behind the device. The Invarians were trying to root them out. They must have been somehow attracted to the device, and it killed one. An Invarian soldier killed one of the pups. The large one appeared, killed the soldier. There was a wizard. I think it's the wizard that controlled that device. And then the earthquake happened. And half of the creature got caught in the explosion, and the mage got, well, turned into the thing that we just fought.
Well, that explains a lot of what we experienced, but she said puppies, and you said one of the puppies was killed.
Yes, one was definitely killed. I'm going to head over to where that alcove, where the yelping was.
Sure. Make a perception check.
Okay. Let's see. What is my... Okay. 20, not natural.
You kind of step over some of the rubble of this device, through some of the sand, over towards the alcove, and as you bend down,
Puppy?
some of the sand shifts,
Puppy?
and you hear...
Noah, you still have that animal spell up?
Yes, it's 10 minutes!
Come over here. Come here.
I run over.
Slowly.
I creep over.
Nula...
I'm gonna get out of the way, but I am gonna take a moment to gather up some of the sand and put it in a vial.
Okay.
I also would like to grab some of that.
No problem. So Nula, you make your way over. Your speak with animal spell is still active. Cooing assurances. You make your way in. And a moment later, the rest of you see as Nula stands, turns around, beaming, holding by its scruff about a 6
No, I'm
pound.
not holding that a scruff.
Little
Holding
pup.
it.
Right, comes around holding perhaps a 6 pound, pure white furred baby blink dog. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Tune in next week when that also gets named Nula.
Alrighty, so thank you
this
guys
one's
for
named
joining
Noel.
me. Thank you guys in chat for joining us. It's good to be back. I hope you guys enjoyed the session. We will next time we'll pick up with kind of some wrap up and some getting situated out of here. But that is the end of the Scarred Lands adventure arc, which means the Fools Errant have just leveled up.
Yeah.
This also marks
Dude.
the end of Book 1 of the Delve Requisite campaign. So, we will wrap this up. We will have our intermission. Exciting stuff to happen in our intermission. But we will begin delving into Book 2 of our campaign, as you guys have essentially reached the kind of the next power level tier within the game world. So I have very exciting things to come. We have about 47 t-shirts we have to make between this week and next week based on this episode.
I have the list of drums bands.
You guys, I had not thought about this beforehand, but I guess we'll just go around the horn and say who we want to vote for Golden D20.
I was gonna say we could also all just private message you.
Actually, here's what we'll do. Since Chad has actually brought this up before I could. Yes, this is. We didn't exactly hit the date because it didn't fall on a Tuesday, but this is our 1-year anniversary of Tabletop Legends. April
man.
2nd last year was our first episode. So it's been a whole year. We've come a long way. We've made and lost friends along the way, and I'm very excited to continue on this campaign. So, in light of that, instead of a golden D20 this week, I am going to give everybody a golden D20 for next week. So,
I'll be sure to use that on something stupid.
yes.
I am not
specifically
gonna fall
request
off
you use
anything.
On something
stupid.
absolutely frivolous.
So thank you guys for joining me, and for all the work that everybody had to put in, making sure we could do this remotely as we're doing our isolation. Thank you guys who watched at home. I loved watching chat all night. I hope you guys tune in each and every week from now on, and we will see you next Tuesday right here on Proficiency Bonus. So, as we sign off, always remember, when you are delving into the time-ravaged ruins of an Invarian Research Station, always remember to check the rubble of a destroyed chrono device, because there might be
Puppies!
a party pet puppy in there. And when you're doing that, don't forget to add your proficiency bonus. Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next week. Good night.